Hi guys, so today I was kind of wondering what I wanted to do for today's tutorial, and I've been trying to try out different kinds of cards or like mini albums and different things, but I do have this one set from Local King rubber stamp that Elisa sent for review. It's called Hello Birdy, and when I had seen this, I measured it for you guys because it's a different design, right? The way it's kind of laid out, and I thought that's really fun, so I want to definitely try this out, so that's what we're going to be doing today. So thank you so much, Lisa, for sending this for my review. But what we're going to do is do a gatefold card. So I'm going to put this to the side for just a minute. My base card is this piece of cardstock here. It is 6 by 12. And oh, I did want to mention that Lisa did give us a 20% discount code that will end at the end of May. She has some other things coming up for specials in June, but if you want to take advantage of that 20% off code, the code will be there in the description box and all that good stuff to get 20% off your order, one-time use. And so again, this is 6 by 12. So I want to make it a gatefold, and hopefully we do this in a way that it folds nicely. So 3, and turn around, and 3. And I'm going to put this to the side for now. When I bring it in, I want to, even though I have my scores, I just want to make sure that it's still going to fold right down the center. So I'm going to score it so that they touch. So I'm holding it. If I just let it go and do it, it's going to make a gap. So what's nice about this is I see where it needs to be, so that when I push on it harder, they're still touching really closely. Okay, so that's what I wanted. So that's our base card. This is just white, close to my heart cardstock. Hopefully this doesn't get dirty. I'm gonna put it to the side here. And then well, actually not quite yet. So then to make panels for that, I'm just going to go through this Tropical Collection by Crafters Companion. And what's funny is that I know Lisa says she hardly uses pattern paper a lot of times because people want to buy it, but she's like, you know, it's really old, you can't get it anymore, and that happens. But she makes her own background. So I'm going to make a background for the die for this piece that's going to be sitting on, but for right now I'm going to look for just something to put on here. And I'll probably do that later, actually, after I make up, because what if the colors don't coordinate anymore? So I am going to use this stack, and we'll find paper from that. But for right now, it's just a little 6x6 paper pack. And so what I'm going to do is what we always do, ink this up really nicely and with our markers. And let me get my Nina stamping paper, hopefully. Again, I am preferring Nina right now. I did order some paper from that Marco paper, but I have not heard back from them. It hasn't been shipping, nothing, and it's been over a week. So hopefully that will kick off soon here. Let me put these papers to the side. And I am going to use a stamp positioner only because I don't know if I really need to stamp it twice, but with the Nina it works really well. It's nice and bright, but it's even brighter if you let it go again. So I'm going to cut this paper down because I don't need all of it, but I also don't want to waste it. So I know this is about 6 inches long, but you can put it however you need on your paper here. So I'm just going to cut about here. And whenever I cut something down like that, I always use the corner that I know is true, right? Not the one I just cut, but the one that's up here, to butt it up into the corner here so it doesn't move. And I know when it does move, if I butt it right back up, it'll be in the same spot instead of having a wonky edge. And so I'm going to take my stamp. And just going to place it down here. And again, if you get air bubbles on your stamp in this back, just make sure they're not, I don't have any right now, so that's great. Make sure you don't have huge air bubbles, because no matter how hard you press, you're not going to be able to meet that up. It just will not, for some reason. And I have not used this one before, and like I said, Lisa has a tip that, you can start off by just taking a pink eraser, which I need to get another one. This one's almost nothing now. And just take that little slickness off the top of the stamp, or if you used it before already, like just with ink, it's not going to be a problem, but just to make sure that our markers don't repel from it too much. And this is just something you do the first time. You're going to try it. You're going to use it. You don't have to do this every time you go to stamp, of course. It's probably pretty good. Okay. And this guy has kind of a lot going on. What I like is that on these newer stamps, she does have like an example here. So I'm going to go through my Local King markers. This is the set of 24. I purchased these on my own, but I do have the larger set, and I probably should bring those out because I can have more variety, but I kind of like to keep it basic so you guys know. But any water-based marker will pretty much do the job for you. So these are just really cute and really juicy. So what I'm going to do is go through and pick out some colors, and I will be right back. Okay. So again, I was just looking how, you know, she matched up or paired up her little birds and stuff. They're really cute. And what I like is this time, instead of brown on the frame, she used like a blue. But, you know, you can do whatever you like. So let's just get started. So I do have, for my birds, I got some of the different color tones of blue there. And I am going to add maybe a little bit of this pinky color. I don't know. We'll see. The flowers are going to be like yellows, reds, and orange. And then 2 greens for the leaves and black for accent here and there, beaks and all that. So I'm just going to turn this here. And again, we just go to town. So start with your lighter color. So like with my light green, I'm just going to bring it in here. And if it gets on the flowers, it's not the biggest deal. I just want to see what's flower and what's leaf. There's a flower right here. And I'm doing that by looking, obviously, at the stamp, but then I look at the image there. And keep this nice and flat because obviously you want to cover the whole area. So I kind of keep it flat like this. There are some little berries on here if you want to color those different colors. Obviously do that. Trying to see what's branch and leaf. So this is all leaves up here. And maybe some leaf here. Okay. That was the light green. Now I'm going to take the dark green and you can just kind of bring it in. And at least if you want it to really blend in, obviously you can come back in and kind of blend the colors, but I just kind of put some color down. And like the little berries, since I'm already working on this, I'll just make them red. And at least in her image there, she's made them green. So, however, flowers, I'm going to start with the yellow because that's my lightest color. A lot of flowers in this one, so cute. Okay, yellow, a little orange, maybe here and there. I'm coming out from that yellow area, I'm just kind of branching out that orange. And then closer to the center, I'm going to use the red. So wherever you want to put it, when they get kind of small, I'm just kind of putting a little something. And she put a little green dot in the center, so I'll just do a little green. Maybe on those little, I don't know if you can see, there's like 2 little dots here and there on those little flowers. So I'm just barely tapping that with the green. And I think I got all that. Okay, now our birds. Birds start with the lightest color again. I'm starting with the blue, the lightest blue that I have here. A little bit mid blue. Just wherever you want. I'm putting it down near their little chesty here. A little darker blue, maybe in the wings here. And she used that really pretty, it looks like she put a little pink on their little head. And then I'll bring the black and just put it around the eyes area and the beak. And little feet, if there are any little feet. Can't tell on that one. And I'm going to bring this like kind of navy-ish blue, this darker blue back down in here for the frame. And you don't have to do this, and I always say you don't have to do this, but I give it a little huff before I move on. Just because it's been a while since we worked with the green. But again, like Lisa says, you don't have to work fast, you have time. So I'm going to breathe on it a little bit. Reactivate those colors, make sure my paper is butted up completely in case I have to stamp again. You probably don't have to squish it as much as I did, but that's what I do. Oh, it's so pretty. It is so pretty, you guys. I'm going to add a little bit more because my yellow is very pale, so I want to build that up. And that's more building up the color more than anything. Again, I always wipe it down. I don't know if you have to, but it's just that when there's darker colors and you're going to come in with the light ones, I don't want to mix them and make them muddy, so I just kind of give it a wipe down. And I'm going to go through again. And I'm going to fast forward this one, but all I'm going to do is take the lighter colors, the yellow on the flowers, the green, the light green on the leaves, the blue on the little birds, and then stamp it again. Take very long. I just don't want to, you know, it's very repetitive, so I don't want to have you guys sitting there listening to me talk the whole time and doing the same thing again. So here we go. Again, butt that up, make sure it's in the same spot. And let's get that stamped again. Again, just the lighter colors. I did add, you know, you can do a little accenting with your black, or if you think you want to come in with some more of the dark colors again, but you don't have to like exactly remember how you laid it out the first time, right? How you went ahead and did that. So pretty. Yeah, and look how much a little more vibrant it was. It was pretty nice to begin with, but here we go. So this size, you can definitely run it through your marquee. I do want to emboss it a little bit, so I'm going to run it through, I guess, my my Empress that's sitting here. But again, you can run this through your marquee, this one and the outer die, and you know, it's just fine. So I'm just going to cut this out, and then we're going to make a background paper, which I haven't done yet because I wasn't sure what colors I was going to use for the project, so I'll use my magic mushrooms for that, and then some ink. Oh, ow. Be careful. When I went to bring this out, I kind of like stuck my finger in here. Eey. Okay. Again, you want to run this through some scrap paper so you kind of have a really good idea of where your aperture is going to be. Other than that, her dies are so close to the lines, like it's not going to be the biggest deal. You can see right through pretty well. Like right now, just what I did looks pretty darn perfect. I'm just looking at the little bird's eyes. They probably need to move over just a little bit. And like I'm looking at the berries and look at the little eyes here, the leaf. And I think that's good. Yeah, where do I want to put the tape? I'm going to put it between these two pieces over here. And maybe over here. I don't want it to move. But I also don't want it to mess up my paper there. Okay. So again, I have my magnetic mat and my metal shim. So metal shim, magnetic mat. I like to put my die facing up. I don't like cutting into my magnetic mat. Suppose if you cut into the magnetic mat, then your embossing's all done and everything, but I'm just going to go ahead and run it through this way. Okay, and she always says make sure it's all die cut. I can see that everything's cut, nothing's missing there. I'm going to remove this. And I'm going to put this back down. I'm going to put my rubber mat over the top. This is the embossing. But again, if you have a marquee, you can just run it through. It fits, no problem. The size of it fits in your marquee folder. Probably not in the Gemini Mini because that one's a little bit smaller. And then of course all your other machines that are any, you know, bigger. All right. And if you want a deeper embossing, you could keep the metal shim in there. I did not. I can see it's embossed, but not super, super deep. Actually, I'm going to keep this out because I need this in a minute. Again, that tape kind of why I wanted to go a little bit light on the tape, the way it's holding on, so we don't tear anything. And you can say, oh, again, it's not coming out of your paper. Now, if you wanted this to be your card, you can definitely do that, right? Just cut around this. Obviously, I wouldn't have taped it the way I did. But we have that kiss cut feature that keeps it from removing completely, but I do want to remove it completely this time. So I'm just going to go to each little tab, wherever they are, and just pull my little image away. Again, she doesn't do too many, so it's not like, oh, I have 15 tabs to deal with or something. Just a couple here and there. I think there's 2 here, and that's it. So we have our beautiful image here. So now I'm going to get some paper. I'm just going to use my regular Crafters Companion stamping paper, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just got a scrap of the Crafters Companion stamping paper, and to be honest, this might also be why my blending sometimes I don't know. I haven't tried on other papers, but this is just a scrap I have here, and that should work for what I'm trying to do. I'm going to move this to the side. I have our water reactive dyes here, just because those are supposed to be the kind that blend better from Crafters Companion, right? And I don't need the green, but I have my purple and blue mushrooms here. And let me see if I clean. So that one's clean. Honestly, I don't think it mattered. They're both clean from the last time I used them, because I'm just going to blend some colors here. And I think, oh, you know what? Actually, Parakeet's kind of a teal color, so I'll have my teal one too. Okay. So I'm going to start with Ocean Blue, and I'm just going to lay some color down. This isn't anything special. I'm just trying to lay down some color just anywhere. Okay, that's Ocean Blue, and then I have Parakeet. Okay, I'm going to try some of the purple. I don't really know what like I said, I'm just laying color down. This is just kind of like whatever in the background. So the purple is Crushed Velvet. Yes, Crushed Velvet. It's kind of light. I thought it was going to be deeper. So that's pretty. And again, most of these colors kind of blend really nicely because they're just blues and purple. So this is one of my newer magic mushrooms. So what Lisa's saying is they get moist and kind of wet as you're cleaning them and using them. They are easier to blend with. Like I can feel this one's pretty dry compared to the other two, because I haven't blended purple too much recently. I think that should be enough. Let me get my frame. The edges are a little bit white, so let me add a little more color over here. Brought in a lot more purple than I thought I was going to, so let me go back with some of the blue. Oh yeah, that's nice and deep. So pretty. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And then that way I can cut this guy out. So I'm just going to run this through my machine, and I will be right back. Okay, just ran that through, and really pretty. If you want to do more distressing around the edges now that it's cut, you can do that. I'm just going to leave that there. So pretty. And real quick, to clean up your magic mushrooms, all you have to do is like if I keep, this one's actually not too bad, but I use my little mister here, just give a little squirt, squirt, squirt. Pull the color off on whatever your chamois, and then in a dry area. And now no more colors coming off that. It's nice and clean for the next time, and it's a little bit moist, and that keeps it nice and blendy for the next one. So let me move these things to the side. I'll finish cleaning up the rest of them later. And the magic mushrooms, of course, are for sale there on Lisa's site. I think she usually has specials with larger sets of them. But right now, if it's original or regular price, you can get that 20% off with my coupon there, the coupon code. All right, so let's bring these pieces back. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, what I'm going to do is take time right now just to glue this down. And again, her dies always have something kind of fun. So on this one, hopefully you can see this little flower petal pops up, and then this little wing pops up. And this one does too. So you just keep looking around and see if there's anything on the back. Sometimes it's easier to tell. And I'm going to take my glue, and I'm going to get this down here. And then I'm going to adhere it. So I'm just going to run this glue around wherever it's not popped up right. And then I'm going to stick it down on here. I'll be right back. Okay. And I just kind of gently placed that on one side and then brought it over this way so I can lay it down nicely. And again, I didn't glue these areas. So pretty. All right. And all I'm going to do here, of course you can dress this up or leave it, you know, dressed down as much as you like. My hands have ink all over them, so hopefully, actually not all over them. Because the magic mushrooms, you know, you're just holding on to this, so, but I have some ink, so I'm always scared because this paper is so white, but that's okay. And then this is going to go across here with a cute pattern paper behind it. I'm just going to pick out which pattern paper, and so I'm just going to go through and kind of look at this. And of course you have your little image, you can bring it and kind of see what would be prettier. Oh, that one's kind of cool, even though, but see, it's white around the edges. I was thinking something with more green or blues. That one's pretty too. Oh, that's pretty, but I don't know how it's gonna look when I cut it down a little bit. Oh my gosh, that's almost like the same flower. That's so tough because they both look so pretty. Ay, ay, ay. Because look at the flower in here. It's yellow and the hibiscus there. Maybe I have hibiscus in my mind because that's exactly like mine there in my yard. I took a picture of it for you guys. Okay, I'm going to go through the papers and then I'll pick one and I'll be right back. I'm going to go with this paper. I don't know why. It looks fun and I like that toucan just hanging out there checking them out. So let's do that. But again, these are 6x6. My card base is 6x6. And so I'm going to trim off the smallest amount off the edges because I want it to mat in here. I mean, you can just cut it right in half, I suppose. But, you know, it's kind of, it's your card base. So I do like to take a little bit off. So what I'm going to do is take the smallest amount off. Probably, like, if I can do that, I don't even know if this thing measures. I'm going to take 1/8 of an inch off either side. So that's 1/4 inch smaller. So I'm going to take 1/8 inch off the top, the bottom, and the sides. And I will be right back. You know, I was cutting this and I thought, well, so that might confuse people when they go to cut. So I'm using a guillotine, but all I'm doing is this 6 inches. So I'm going to 5 7/8. So I can see the little 7/8, 5 7/8 on this one side. And I'm going to turn it to the other side. And now I'm going to cut at 5 3/4 because it's going to be a whole, you know what I'm saying? You're taking another 1/8 of an inch, so that brings it to the 1/4. And I already did that on the other side, so that's fine. And I probably should have cut it in half first. Nah, just kidding. Let's see here. I can do the math. So we have, this is a little bit tougher. So we have 5 3/4. So for 5, we need 2 1/2, and then 3/4 another 1/4. So 2 3/4 plus another 1/8. So 2 and, well, let's just do this. 2 3/4. And then another 1/8. So it's 2 7/8. Basically should cut this right in half. And if I didn't do that incorrectly, then yay. Okay, they're perfect. Good. So hopefully you followed along with my math there. I love math, you guys. I used to love algebra. That's like my thing. I used to be a biology major on top of, before I changed my mind and started doing something else. But I like that kind of thing. Just trying to see. Do I just want to leave it nice and dry like the way it is right now? And what I mean is no distressing. I suppose we can leave it nice and clean. Okay, so let me just stick these guys down. And you know what? I'm going to use a wet glue just in case they aren't quite perfect. But, you know, if you want to distress it in a nice kind of bright color, I think that would be fun. Doot. So I'm kind of keeping an eye. What happens is you kind of need it to meet up in the middle perfectly, right at the edge. So the edge, so you have your design here on the edges, but not quite in the middle. So the paper in the middle is going to meet up completely. So it's as if you're looking at it and it's one piece, you know? I think it's pretty good. Again, wet glue's your friend, so you have time to move it around if you didn't quite get it right the first time. And I'm going to put this on here, and I think I want to put it so that it opens this way. You know what I'm saying? This piece goes with this. But I also want to make it pop up a little bit. So I'm going to use my, my 3D glue gel, but you can use, you know, dimensional adhesives, whatever you like, the kind with the little tabs you take off on the back. Again, it's just this one side. So I'm going to put plenty of this. That'll probably be good. I'll put it like there. Okay, and the point of this is not to squish it down, okay, because it's dimensional, so you leave it chubby and puffy. And I'll probably put this down here to keep it down. So that is it. If you have a sentiment to put on it, you know, you can put it wherever you have plenty of room. Put a little something, or just don't put it until when you open the card, like a Hallmark card, the sentiment will be on the inside. So thanks for watching, guys. Thank you so much, Local King, for saying this particular set for my review. It's really, really pretty. I like the design, that it's kind of different from other ones that we have seen, that shape and everything. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll have links in the description box, and the discount code will be there for you guys. Again, it'll be good till May, end of May here, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye now.